Forget about Doombringer and Harlequin Crest. This Blood Surge Necro is absolutely incredible. Uber Lilith simply gone. Infernal Hordes being put in a sandwich and eaten up. Tormented bosses soloable, no problem. The build essentially fixed the biggest problem that Blood Surge has, and that is that every 6th Blood Surge you get 1 overpower, plus the overpowers you get every 12 seconds from your key passive. That's not enough. We're adding the Banished Lords Talisman and the Crown of Lucion. Now, why is that such an interesting combination? Because the Crown of Lucion gives us 75% more damage multiplicative. And it also increases the cost of our Blood Surge by 150%. What? That's good though. Because now we have the Banished Lords Talisman, which gives us another overpower every 275 essence used. In the current version of the build, we're getting 1 more overpower every 8th Blood Surge, and I think I could bring it down to every 7th Blood Surge as well, which in total just tremendously increases the DPS and just has bosses vanish. And before you ask, what's better, Banished Lords Talisman or Sacrifice bonuses 75%? We did actually try this live on stream because I was confused myself. I didn't want to play Banished Lords Talisman because the Sacrifice bonuses are so good, getting your overpower damage up to 5,000%. Banished Lords just outperformed it tremendously, especially since Banished Lords Talisman now has a percentual life increase, which would be really cool if you could masterwork that up, but for the love of God, I am not hitting it, and I tried 20 times. Now, how does the build work? Can you still use Doombringer if you have it? And pay especially attention to the Paragon board, because that is needed for you to survive. The main component of the build is still Crew's Embrace, and here you want explicitly the Blood Surge drains X times from elites to be as high as possible, because Blood Surge deals 5% more damage for every drain. If you have only 1 drain on a boss, that's lackluster damage. With another +7 drains, we're increasing the damage by 35% multiplicative, and every drain is a bonus health drain that restores our resource together with our aspect on the ring that we 100% need. And that's also why I masterworked, or I'm happy with the masterwork on the Blood Surge drains. I would rather have more maximum life though than ranks to Blood Surge. And the second item that works together with this is the Starlight aspect. 40 resource if you heal for 20% of your life. And that's what the Blood Surge does, even against one single boss. You suck him dry with +7 sucks, and you get that heal, plus the resource back, infinite resource. We're looking for maximum life on the ring, then crit chance or attack speed, and yes, we want the lucky hit chance to make vulnerable, because that is our source of vulnerable. We don't have another source. It needs to be on the ring. Then blood attack speed and also resource cost reduction. Very important. Technically, if you do have enough resource cost reduction on your offhand, this could also be rapid ossification, so you reduce the cooldown of your Bone Storm. Now, the second ring is the Starless Skies, and the reason we need this is actually quite simple. 3 core skills for the Blood Surge, but you're reducing the cost of your ability by 50%. That means we higher the cost of our ability by 150%, and then we squeeze it down again. Or actually the other way around. First reduction, then the squeezing up. And like this, we can perfectly carry it out to be at 36 essence, because that's where we need it to be. At least for my equipment, 36 essence is the sweet spot. That with the Banished Lords Talisman, 275 divided by 36, we're getting every 7.6 Blood Surges, 1 more overpower. It would be optimal to bring this down to 6.9, but I wasn't successful with that yet. Now on top is the so-called Crown of Lucion. Each time you use a skill with a resource cost, Blood Surge, gain 15% increased damage and resource cost increased by 30%. 75% total damage multiplier on top, boom, juicing out more. That's what the Harlequin Crest can't do. And then with the increased resource cost, the Banished Lords Talisman gives us those free overpowers, the 60% multiplier on our overpower critical strikes, and it has maximum life. Again, if you could actually masterwork that up, that would be fantastic. Now the offhand is a key piece for you. Blood Surge Nova size, 100% needed, and then blood attack speed. Also, the critical strike chance and maximum life plus intelligence. I did have resource cost reduction on this at first, and I could bring down my Blood Surge to 25 resource. but that gave me less overpowers, and like this, I still have infinite resource. But if you're actually struggling, I highly recommend to carry a Elixir of Resourcefulness with you, because whenever you're not infinite resource, just go a bit lower, get a few less overpowers, but you're infinite resource, because that's the most important thing. You want to be able to just blast away. For the pants, we get the Blood Moon Breaches, and you want especially Masterwork the Maximum Life or the Curse skills for more damage reduction, because yes, Decrepify is damage reduction, and then the 150% overpower multiplier. And since we don't want to curse ourselves, we just want to jump around and destroy everyone. We're actually playing the auto curse aspect on our boots, together with movement speeds, and yes, currently Golem inherits Thorns. Instead of the Golem, I would rather like to have Freeze. Yes, lucky hit chance to freeze, because we're lucky hitting quite a lot. Essence per second, maximum life, and armor. The armor is needed to actually get you to the armor cap. You combine that with your tunic. The tunic has hardened bones, not embalmer on it, because with 80,000 life that I currently have, 78,000 life actually, I cannot survive without the aspect of the hardened bones. That's why we put embalmer out, but we get more life actually through our Paragon board. Essence per second, max life, and intelligence. The intelligence could technically be armor too, and we do then need total armor percentage. If the int was armor, the total armor percentage could be a max life temper. Then we have the lucky hit chance to stun. Our Skeletal Warriors are being sacrificed for crit as we actually get our resistance all the way up, together with the Skeletal Mages for the bonus overpower, and then the Golem out for the bonus critical strike damage. And very important in your skill tree right now, we need as many ranks in Blood Surge as possible, going for the 20 currently, then the 3 in Imperfectly Balanced. We're making corpses that Crew's Embrace can actually consume corpses. Then we get 1 single point in Blood Mist, because that makes us unstoppable. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have that every now and then. We got 3 Grim Harvest, 3 Fueled by Death. Currently, that was for killing Lilith with the Death Approach. I usually run the +3 in Death Embrace, but I didn't feel it this much, so that's nice. The bonus Curse and also the Decrepify. Technically, these 3 points could also go in the Decrepify for the bonus damage reduction. Then you need to juice up Gruesome Mending, because you do want to have way more healing. That is very important. All the points in Tides of Blood possible. And that's sad for our Amulet, because we could have more ranks in Tides of Blood. And the Drying Vitality for the bonus Fortify, plus Necrotic Carapace. Technically, we could take 2 points out of Death Embrace and actually put 1 point into Serration and 1 point into Rapid Ossification, because now whenever we spend 100 Essence, and 100 Essence is 3 casts of our Blood Surge, we get a cooldown reduction on our Bone skills, allowing us to more often get our Bone Storm casted, which does quite make sense. Can experiment with this however you feel like. Bone Storm is not that much needed, because you're simply only using it when you're in a danger zone. Like the Aether Fiend that could one-shot you, no matter how much HP you have. Then we get the damage reduction from Standalone, together with Memento Mori, the bonus critical strike, and Bone Storm for mostly the damage reduction, to be honest. Lastly, getting the Rathmas Vigor to get healed by Blood Orbs, but we're not making Blood Orbs with this build, so we're kind of missing out on the second part of this, simply because we can't afford to put Embalmer. If you feel like you're tanky enough, by all means, put on the Embalmer, and this is also where there might be a chance to put in the Doombringer. Because right now, my weapon that we actually didn't talk about gives us int, max life, crit damage, blood attack speed, and blood nova size. And we're currently actually missing our 50% attack speed, because I just recently put this on. This is actually how it looks for real with Rathmas Chosen. And instead of Rathmas Chosen, instead of this 50% bonus attack speed, because you have the blood attack speed on this item, blood attack speed on this item, blood attack speed on this item, you have 100% attack speed already. But they're split in attack speed cap 1 and 2, so you can get even more. But if you have the Doombringer, be my guest, put it in instead of the overpower attack speed, and you should be doing even more damage. I simply don't have it, and I know tons of you don't have it as well. And now we're coming to the Paragon board, starting with the Corporal. Corporal is for the bonus physical damage. Fantastic. Juicing our armor and our damage additive a little bit. Then we're actually going to the Blood Begets board, and we're not taking Blood Begets because we are not making Blood Orbs yet, but we take more life for it. Putting in the Sacrificial Glyph to get even more Blood Orb healing and also overpower damage. Again, this is mostly 10 intelligence to make this work. Then we're going into the Blood Bath board for the 70x multiplier. Take the bonus life, ignore the damage taken over time reduction with the Elemental because we have enough resistance to all elements. Then we get the maximum life from the Bone Graft board, and we're activating Territorial here for the bonus damage reduction from close, which works wonders when you push into the Aether Fiends so they don't kill you. plus Scent of Death for the bonus damage multiplier as you eat up all the corpses every time. And then you activate the Undaunted for more damage reduction while fortified. And you're always fortified, so that's actually pretty good. Another 10% damage reduction. We love to see it. Lastly, Flesh Eater, 40% bonus damage consuming corpses. We do this with the Amplify Glyph, and Amplify Glyphs boost this slightly up. If you're struggling with the resistance, you could also try to juice in another point here instead of 2% life to get a wee bit more resistance. Then we're going through the Cult Leader board to actually activate Dominate for the bonus overpower damage. And last but not least, with the points that we have left over that usually go into the Blood Begins, we moved all the way to activate another 4%, 6% max life bonus in the Wither board. Ta-da! Now to give you a life rundown on an Infernal Horde, we're drinking the potion, bringing us to 71,000, 78,000 life. Then we're going for an Infernal Horde 7, because for Infernal Horde 8, I would definitely like to have the Doombringer to just feel even better. Otherwise, it turns into a slog. Then you curse the dude from the distance, jump in, damage reduction from your little Bone Storm, and he just gets nuked away. And now essentially you're more or less just pinging from the left to the right while you're holding down your right mouse button to really have like this infinite resource. Keep in mind that the bonus suck is only happening against elites, so if there's a pack of normies without a single elite, you're going to simply get less heals. That being said, if there's enough normies, that really doesn't matter. It's just literally more sucks if there's more people. And now we're just dingle-dangling between the things, just dishing out damage. I'm essentially just holding down my left mouse button, and then I jam my right mouse button, or just hold my right mouse button down. But that's pretty much how I play this. In between, activate your Bone Storm whenever you face an Ether Fiend, and then just pick up whatever you feel like in terms of the events. It's just fantastic. It's so much fun to play. You never have to look at your resource or your cooldowns in any way. The only cooldown you have is Bone Storm, and that only matters really if there's something that could technically one-hit you. Let's juice those Ether Fiends even more, because why wouldn't we? They can kill us then. Yeah, even harder. And on it goes. Complete utter devastation. Technically, you could also stand in the middle, and whenever you get hit with an effect that would actually kill you, that would maybe stun you, you have your Blood Mist for a worst case scenario. Get out of it and straight up keep going. The Blood Mist can also nicely be used to actually push into the Desecrator. See, he just tried to one-hit me there. So the Blood Mist can also be nicely used to actually push into a Desecrator if you feel then like it, right? If you want to just go right into him, that he can't like on distance snipe you away with this ability. And that's probably a very good use. Otherwise, you really don't need it unless you kind of like get frozen feared or something. You didn't pay much attention. It's your little oh shit button. Now we get all of this destroyed. Names the game. Blood Surge pretty fantastic. Ether Fiends didn't have a chance. Try to get close to enemies to actually get them cursed, or do some long range distant curse. Good. Didn't get a single Hellborn until the end, and still somehow managed to get 500 Ether. Does actually feel very good. Now, the trick here is to get them all together, right? So you want all three to be relatively close to each other, so you got to find out which is the one that's actually wandering. Moth of the Cruel is kind of coming up always, because we kind of want to kill them all at the same time. Like, it doesn't hurt, right? I mean, that dude is running away. Caleb the Flame is known for not sticking, so we're probably just going to send it right into him, make our Bone Storm whenever we need. Just worst case scenario, get him alone destroyed, because again, the other two are kind of like sticky usually at that. And don't forget that your Surge suck is screen wide. So the dude, like, they're on the distance, is still getting hit by the suck. He might not get hit by the Nova, but the actual suck is still hitting him. And then you just chase him down and get him destroyed, right? Wibbity wobbity. Done. Now, if I haven't convinced you yet, and you still want to see this whole thing unfold live, being built from the ground up, here's the live stream that actually explains that to you. Or alternative, a druid build that will absolutely rattle your world. Enjoy, and have a fantastic good day.